I Googled love this week. I doubt that I'm the first person to ever do that. And when you type something into the Google search bar, you're given two choices. To search, in this case, search for love, which seems to me the summation of the human story, or to click on the button that says, I feel lucky. So my choices were to search for love or to try to get lucky. So I clicked on search and was given 10.8 billion search results. 10.8 billion with a B. Now the entire population of the planet is around 7 billion. Which means, according to the Google algorithms, there are a little more than 1.5 search results pertaining to love for every man, woman, and child on the face of the earth. Is it possible that there's more love in the virtual world than in the real world? But I stumbled upon a little nugget on Wikipedia. And I liked it because Wikipedia, of course, is open source. This definition of love is compiled as a result of input from people all over the world. This is what the body of humanity seems to have agreed is the definition of love. A virtue representing the fullness of human kindness, compassion, and affection. I like that. And I think if we really study the Gospels, this is exactly how Jesus lived and loved, with a virtue representing the fullness of human kindness, compassion, and affection. And this is what he passes to us and invites us to participate in. And he says to us this morning, hey, if you really want to have a joy-filled life, do what I do. Love one another. Love one another. But perhaps the greatest beauty of this gospel is also its greatest challenge. It's not only what he says, but what he doesn't say. For there are no asterisks, fine print, or exclusions. No disclaimers at all. He just says, love one another. Jesus does not say, love one another, except those who think differently, vote differently, believe differently, live differently. No, he just says, love one another as I love you, with the fullness of human kindness, compassion, and affection. And that can be really hard. It can be a real challenge. But it's also really important, because if we believe what the scriptures tell us, if we believe that God is love, and we heard it proclaimed just a few minutes ago, whoever is without love does not know God, for God is love. If we believe this, then it follows that where we make our love stop, we make our God stop. Wherever the end of our love is where we've decided the end of our God is. And when we put limits on who and how we will love, we effectively put limits on God. And where we decide love ends, God ends. And that's where all of the hard stuff and the evil in the world starts to take root. That's where hate begins to grow, and resentment and judgmentalism and violence and abuse. Where we decide love stops, that's where all of the ugliness of the world finds space to take root and grow. Love one another. If we are truly serious about evangelizing and transforming our world, our nation, our culture, our church, our families, this is where we start, and we don't stop. Right here. To love with the fullness of human kindness, compassion, and affection. To love everyone always. Now, I don't know where your hearts are at, but as for myself, I would rather have to justify why I loved excessively and perhaps even recklessly than to have to explain why I limited my love even once. So before we bust off our letters to the editor and put the bumper stickers on our cars that tell everyone else how we think they should live differently, let us first look into our own hearts and ask ourselves how we can love more completely. I have told you this so that my joy may be in you and your joy might be complete. This is my commandment. Love one another as I love you. My friends, this is where we start. And let us never stop.